After thousands of years, ladies and gentlemen, gazing up in the heavens and dreaming of this day, a man is about to set foot on the moon.
Я делаю этот шаг во имя моей страны, во имя моего народа и во имя марксистско-ленинского образа жизни. Я осознаю.
On this channel, all of my viewers know that I tend to harp on movies, TV shows, books, and video games, all having two elements to be considered good: story and character development. But there's a third element that adds flavor. It's not entirely a necessary component, but it does help an already good story with good character development, and that's world building. The fourth season of For All Mankind has just finished on a fantastic note, so why is no one talking about this great show? Join me, dear viewer, as I dive deep into the world of For All Mankind. What would have happened if the Soviets landed on the moon first? That's the central question behind For All Mankind, but the show is about much more than just that. That's the kernel that became an idea for the show. It was exactly this kernel that the showrunners used in order to build an entire world. With each passing season, that world began to look less and less like our world and came into its own world. Season 1 began innocently enough in 1969. President Kennedy had been shot and killed, obviously by the CIA, as we all know by now. We got Nixon in the White House. But the Soviets land on the moon a month before the Americans do. This sets off a massive space race to take over the moon. By the second season, the moon base established in 1973 had expanded to add more personnel to grow the mining operations that had begun in the first season. There's some tensions between the Americans and the Soviets which lead to some dramatic events and the deaths of two favorite characters. When the third season finally rolled around, the race was on to get to Mars in 1994. It became a three-way race between the Soviets, the Americans, and a new player in Dev Ayasa's Helios Space Corporation. Much to their surprise, someone else got there first. The whole season is fraught with drama and conflict, but not as dire as the conflict on the moon in the prior season. The fourth season debuted in late 2023 and showed us the world as it could have been in 2003. The humans, having already established a decent-sized colony on the Red Planet, their sights were set on a new target. A massive asteroid full of valuable minerals worth trillions of dollars is discovered, which sets off another race to capture it. But who will be the ultimate benefactors? What makes the fourth season of the show so good was how it began to show history repeating itself. We all know that history cycles over and over. In the world of For All Mankind, this is no different. People now living on Mars decide that they don't want to live by Earth's rules. They want to be different, to make their own thing, and they begin to fight for those rights. It's a story as old as time. This is why the show works so well. It doesn't try to subvert norms. It takes classic storytelling and approaches with a fresh take. I'm a millennial that would have been born during the show's second season, so I can't really speak for what the moon landing scenario in the first season would have felt like. But as a little kid growing up in the 90s, I would have been all about Mars and Mars exploration. By the time of the fourth season in 2003, I would have been in college, and I probably would have been studying something more closely related to engineering so that I eventually could go work and live on another planet. The end of the fourth season with its iconic song Midnight City by M83 made me realize that the world of For All Mankind, for all its flaws, is much better than the world we currently inhabit. Instead of colonies on the moon and Mars, we got 140 characters. It's actually kind of really lame if you ask me. And I'm not the only one that thinks it's lame. The world's richest man thinks it's lame too. Elon Musk is hell-bent on making life on Mars a reality. The show, though, has a good 50-year head start on him, unfortunately. We're only just now trying to return to the moon with the Artemis missions. The real shame about both the show and our reality is that no one even knows it's happening. I mean, I'm a science and space nerd. I am all about this shit. But I'm really disappointed that Artemis 2 won't launch this year as had been planned, which is super lame. For those of you who don't know, The Artemis missions are the plan to go back to the moon and stay. Basically, our real life has only reached season 1 of this great show. Lame. Another thing that's lame is the fact that more people don't know about this awesome show. No one is talking about it. There have been very few advertisements for it, and nary a word from anyone here on YouTube even. This is a shame because not only does For All Mankind have a great story and great character development, but it also has that third ingredient in its world building. The world building aspect of For All Mankind is actually more of a character in and of itself. It evolves with each episode and season. The showrunners have done a fantastic job in interweaving real life events and adding their own twists. My personal favorites have been the inter-season catch-up events. Stuff like seeing Prince Charles marry Camilla instead of Diana, of the Beatles' reunion tour after John Lennon survives an assassination attempt, of different presidents winning elections and some presidents never even stepping into the spotlight like Jimmy Carter. All these scenes help build this alternate history, providing the audience with a deep, rich experience. And it is with this rich experience that I got the feeling that the world of For All Mankind was a better world to live in. If you haven't checked out For All Mankind, drop everything you're doing and give the first season a try. You won't be disappointed. The show is streaming on Apple TV Plus, which is a wildly underrated streaming service. It has very few, but extremely high quality shows. The entire 4th season is now on and ready to be watched. And for those of you who have already started watching the show, where do you think the story is headed next? And what will the world of 2012 look like in season 5? Please do let me know down below in the comments, and as always, hit that like button, ring that notification bell, and smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.